Hey Rock Buzz, Rock Papa here. What is metamorphism? What are the different kinds and grades of metamorphism? Where does metamorphism occur? Where do these different grades of metamorphism occur? Why is metamorphism so complicated? These are questions that I hope to answer today, and I hope to simplify the whole topic of metamorphism so that it's more understandable. So stay tuned, and if this video is useful to you, please subscribe. Thank you to all my wonderful subscribers. And at the end of the video, I'll give you an update on the rock image ID key app that I'm making. Okay, here we go, metamorphism. Metamorphism, here's a good working definition. Changes in a rock caused by changes in temperature, pressure, and water availability. You will hear of prograde metamorphism, retrograde metamorphism, hydrothermal metamorphism, and metasomatism. Each of these instances is an example where temperature, pressure, and water availability change, either getting higher or lower to bring about changes in rocks. So we're going to simplify by lumping them all into our handy-dandy definition of metamorphism. In metamorphism, temperature is the main component that determines the changes that take place in rocks. Pressure and water availability are important factors too, but temperature change is king. Geologists recognize three main types or stages of metamorphism based on the changes in temperature, pressure, and water availability. Let's have a look at these. The first type or stage of metamorphism is one in which temperature and pressure are low, but water availability is high. Geologists call this green schist facies metamorphism. The second type or stage of metamorphism is one in which temperature and pressure are at relatively moderate levels, and water availability is also at moderate levels. Geologists call this amphibolite facies metamorphism. The third and final type or stage of metamorphism is one in which temperature and pressure are relatively high and water is relatively scarce. Geologists call this granulite facies metamorphism. Sounds like a chunky kind of beer. So in layman terms, or if you like redneck terms, the three stages of metamorphism could be called low wet, that's green schist, medium moist, that's amphibolite, and high dry or high damp, that's granulite. Okie dokie, moving on. Green schist facies metamorphism, which we call low wet metamorphism, happens typically in rifting zones and near Earth's surface in subduction zones. This makes sense because in rifting zones and the upper regions of subduction zones, the activity going on is pretty close to Earth's surface, and at that point, ocean water is very, very abundant and available. At green schist facies, abundant water facilitates the creation of micas and green mineral, and the directed pressure from the subducting slab gives rise to greenish rocks called greenstones and green schists. Our second stage of metamorphism, called amphibolite facies metamorphism, typically happens at moderate depths in continental crashing zones. These conditions transform felsic and intermediate igneous rocks into rocks like granite gneiss and biotite gneiss, which have metamorphic banding. And it transforms mafic igneous rocks into amphibolites. Sandstone becomes quartzite. Limestone becomes marble. And finally, we have granulite facies metamorphism, which is like rock hell for rocks. This happens in the very deep down places in continental crashing zones. It's so deep that groundwater doesn't easily penetrate down there, so there's not much water available for hydrating minerals. As a matter of fact, minerals are greatly dehydrated. The water is removed from them. Granulite facies metamorphism creates granulites. What are granulites? Granulite rocks have large mineral crystals. That's called granulite texture. And those crystals are usually welded together. That's called granoblastic texture. Felsic granulites are usually light in color, and mafic granulites are usually dark in color. Okay, that's it for metamorphism for today. We're going to have 2 more metamorphism videos where we go into a little more detail on metamorphism, give you a little more information. And now for an update on the Rock ID app. I'm making excellent progress, mostly thanks to the fact that ChatGPT is an outstanding computer programmer. Also, I've developed, Chat and I have come up with all the buttons that you tap on to go through the key. And I've developed all the rock images from my huge rock pile here, and also developed written descriptions for each of the rocks. And in addition to that, we have an alphabetical index that you can go through and tap on to find a rock name, and also a little section on how to identify a rock, the steps that you go through. And each rock description page has a Wikipedia link to that rock to help you get into more detail. So that's coming, I would say, another couple of months, maybe, if I'm lucky. And as soon as I get that done, I'll let you guys know about it. So this here is your Rock Papa saying to you, happy rock hunting. Papa out.